Hi guys, my name is Michelle Jolene and let me welcome you to my channel. Today is a story time that is really important to me because it was the beginning of my spiritual journey and finding out who I am in that sense. Now, the story takes place in the summer of 2013. As for the exact dates, I honestly don't remember. I was going through a lot. My mom had passed away the fall prior to this summer, and I was coming around on the 1 year anniversary. Now, because I had lost my mom, I had a real interest in finding my biological father. And I didn't know how to go about doing this, and it was pretty much all I talked about. And I'm going to say my conscious mind wasn't a big deal, but my subconscious mind, I believe, was crying out and praying for this. It's pretty much all I talked about months prior to this story. So with that being said, let's get into the story with that little background. So one day, I'm at home and I'm with my roommates, and at the time, I lived with 3 dudes and I was the only girl. And to be honest, I would always try to go out and hang out with some girls because I was around guys way too much. And if you've ever lived with guys before, it's a lot. But anyway, I was at home and I'm sitting with my roommates and they're talking and whatever. And finally, one of them gets my attention and says, "Hey, are you going to Calypso's with us tonight?" At the time, Calypso's is a bar. I'm going to insert pictures of it throughout the video. But most of the pictures, it won't be called Calypso's because that place tanked, closed down. They opened it back up as a barbecue place. So it's Billiards Barbecue, something like that. But it used to be called Calypso's, and it was this really cool, rundown, pirate-themed bar. Because if you know the history of Calypso, and yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, you're like, "Are you going into Calypso's tonight?" And I thought to myself, I didn't really feel like going out. I just wanted to stay home. But something in the back of my mind told me that's where I needed to be. So, reluctantly, I agreed to go. So, we're getting ready. All that point stuff doesn't even matter. Getting ready, getting in the car, getting to Calypso's. This is where our story resumes. So we're at the bar, and when we've had a couple of drinks, and we're outside, some people are smoking, all of us are talking, reminiscing about stuff. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this guy walking full speed ahead. And he's carrying something. But I'm not really paying attention to him. I'm enjoying my friends, having a good time, we're laughing. Now, a couple of seconds later, I hear my name being called. And I look around, and I just see a guy going, "Michelle, Michelle, Michelle." And I don't recognize him, so in my head, I think, oh, he's looking for his friend Michelle, no big deal. He's not talking to me. Why would someone I don't even know be calling my name? Well, little did I know he was talking to me, but that's later on in the story. So this guy's yelling for Michelle, and I'm ignoring him because I don't know him. I don't think he's talking to me. But my roommate, Scooby, does. He starts talking to him. He's like, "Oh, there's 2 Michelles here tonight. Which one are you looking for?" And then I hear clearly the guy say, I don't know what Michelle it is. My higher power told me to bring this book to her and that she would be here tonight at this time. Which is weird, right? But then I hear Scooby say, "Oh my God, this is crazy. My friend's been talking about finding her father. This book's for her. I know it." So at this point, I'm a little annoyed because I don't know the full context of their conversation. All I hear is they're talking about me. And why are you talking about me? I'm right here. Come get me, you know? So I get up and I walk over to him and I was like, "Why are you talking about me?" Then the guy with the book in his hand goes, "Are you Michelle?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And he goes, "This is for you. My higher power told me to come here and give you this book." Now, the book I am referring to in this story was actually the thumbnail of this video. It's called Locating Lost Family Members and Friends. Now, as I mentioned before, I was talking about finding my biological father, but I didn't even know how to begin to look for him. One, because I wasn't even sure how to spell his last name. Burhan. How would you spell that? Doesn't even matter. So I get the book and instantly I am overwhelmed and I just start crying. Because at this point, I didn't believe in God. You know, my mother was just taken from me and she was my world. You know, 9 days later, my stepdad died. I had lost my brother at 10 years old. My whole family was dead and I was alone. How can there be a God out there? And he does this to people or lets this happen to people. So I was very angry. My anger was very misplaced. And this book coming into my life, I broke down in tears. I stared up at the sky. And I just said out loud, "Okay, you have my attention. What do you want?" Now, a lot of people listening to this can be like, "What? God went all that way to give you a sign to show you that he exists and you greet him with what do you want?" Yeah, but that's my personality and God made me, so he knows that's my personality, and that's the stance I'm sticking on that. So I later on meditated because I was confused. Why would God show himself to me? Why would he reveal himself to me like that? I'm nothing special. So far, I'm just an orphan. I'm an orphan who really had no place to go, whose friends took pity on her and let him move into this janky rundown trailer, which my roof leaked. When it rained, I had to call my roommates to ask them to put a pot so my stuff wouldn't get wet. Just a big old cooking pot filling up with water. It's but it was still a home. It was still a good time. And in that space, I was able to focus. And through a lot of meditating, in conversations with God taking place in my head, that makes me sound like a crazy person, but whatever. I found that I was supposed to bring something to the world. A spiritual enlightenment. Either way, this is the coming out story of me realizing that my story is just being written. It is just beginning. And everybody who does something great doesn't come from greatness. They come from these broken homes. They come from these tragic backgrounds so they can relate to people and get the message across. And one day, I am very hopeful that I will be able to deliver the message he so badly wants me to deliver. Now, that is my story. If you've made it through this far, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I feel like a real YouTuber saying that. Okay, bye guys.